Todd Goldstein back in. What are you hoping to see from him now?
Well, just the form that he showed in the VFL last week. He's been 2 weeks back in the VFL now. Didn't have a great game first week back. We hope we'd get an immediate bounce, and took a little bit longer, but he played really well last week. So we're hoping he carries that form into this week, and he's back somewhere near his best.
His around the ground work is what defined him as the best ruckman in the comp for a couple of years. Do you expect to see a little bit more from him in that area?
Yeah, we've worked on some things, just getting more to the contest more often, because when he's there, we know he's very capable, and he shows some terrific athleticism both at ground level and in the air. So getting him there more often would be great.
Another good opportunity to see him playing alongside Braden.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's look, we're rapt to have him back, but the disappointing thing is we lose Majak in the process. So hopefully Madge is only going to be a short-term thing, so maybe a week, maybe a bit longer, we're not sure yet. But the silver lining to that is, Goldie and Braden Bruce in combination should be something that excites all our fans, and hopefully it can be a real advantage for us.
Are you totally sure you'll get Jared Waite back this season?
Oh, it's certainly our intention. Yeah, we're 4 games to go for us, and we're hoping that it's very similar to his last injury. It was on his other side, so we're hoping 2 weeks, but we're thinking worst case it'll be 3. So that means we'll get him back. That's great. It's our intention of getting back.
Sorry, have you liked him in that role up the ground?
Yeah, he's been terrific. He's created all the opportunities he did as a forward, but getting more of the ball and still kicking goals, and adds a different dimension to our team, and allows us to be a bit more flexible with our forward setup too. So it's a good bit of variety for us.
Is he playing for a contract, or is that too simplistic to?
No, we know how good he is. We know all the great things he's brought to our club. He's been, like all of our free agents, Dal Santo, Higgins, and Waite have just brought an enormous amount to us on the field, but an enormous amount off the field too. So there's no audition in the last few weeks of the year. We know how good he is, and we just got to look at the entire list management profile and how we go about that, and that'll determine what happens. But we're nowhere near making a decision on any of those things yet.
In terms of your thinking with that, Brad, does it help the fact that he can play up the ground, or he's shown that he can do that he's not going to hold back any of your younger forwards?
Yeah, that was part of the intention, Nick, to add some flexibility to our forward structure so that we could. We've always been working this year on how we could bring some of our talented talls into the side, whether that be up forward or in the ruck, and so that gave us some added flexibility to be able to do some different things. So, yeah, he's a very complete player. So, that certainly comes into calculations.
Do you think Ben Brown would step up as well as he has in that number 1 role down in attack?
I think he did towards the end of last year. Thought he really stepped up and started taking the best defender on a fairly regular basis at the end of last year. And he's just continued to grow and develop, and not just what everyone sees offensively, but he's a very complete forward now, and he can also play in the ruck, so he's a very valuable player for us.
Since the club's been in this position without much to play for at the end of the season, what do you think's driving the players at the moment?
Just that we know that good clubs, when they can't have the ultimate success, they continue to build a really strong platform for the future, and our players are really invested in building that platform, and really invested in making sure that the way we finish off this year will dictate to a certain extent what 18, 19, 20 and beyond looks like. So they've got full understanding of all that, and they've bought into it. They're not just playing out time.
The game against Collingwood, I imagine another big stage for some of these guys to get a taste of, I suppose, that big atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we always enjoy the matchup, and hopefully our supporters get out and enjoy the big stage on a Saturday night at Etihad. So it's a big game for us, and we're certainly treating it as a big game. So it'd be great to have great atmosphere there, and they've always been good clashes against the Pies in the past.
Brad, what did you make of Bomber Thompson's comments on your coaching?
I didn't hear it. Heath mentioned it to me on the way down, but maybe you can...
He said, in regards to you getting a contract extension before the end of the season, that you'd done an average job at an average club.
Well, I mean, we're always striving to be better. We're always looking for ways to get better. So we're in an opinion-based game, and everyone's got one, and everyone's entitled to it.
It's a bit harsh?
I'm not going to comment. It's not for me to respond to every comment that's made. But other than to say that everyone's entitled to say what they believe, and that's fair enough.
First game against Daniel Wells. Anything special planned for him, Brad?
Oh, well, just a massive amount of respect, especially on the game he played last week. We know him very, very well. We know what he does well, and that's a little bit daunting at times too, because we know how good he can be. So, yeah, we've got plans in place, but again, like a lot of good midfields, of which Collingwood have certainly got one of those, they're deep, and so it's not just one player. It's, you know, they've got a lot of players in form, and that's even without Pendlebury there. So. That's their strength, and that's where we're going to have to be really good to compete with them.
Disappointing for Sam Wright this week, I think, ruled out for the rest of the season. Are you confident that you can get to the bottom of those foot and ankle problems that have really, I suppose, have plagued him for a while now?
Oh, look, we're confident we can get him right, and all the advice is supportive of that, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating for him. It's been a bit of a wretched run, but you know, hopefully he gets some of that time back at the back end of his career, and because he's been working really hard, and he was looking really good there for a period, but just got a little bit sore. So we don't think it's going to be something that's going to be too significant, but we've certainly got to be respectful of the injury and make sure that we're conservative with it so that he's right for next year.
And Mason Wood's injury, the calf seems to be one of those ones that's sort of nagged on for a little bit.
Yeah, just the advice was early that he'd be back, 1 or 2 weeks, and so it's just dragged on a bit. But he seems to have turned the corner, and certainly with all his testing and all the measures we take, it suggests it has turned the corner. And even Mason within himself feels a lot more confident than he did a week ago. So hopefully it progresses quickly and we can get him back before the end of the year.